Hello, my name is Robert Freeman. I'm the founder and the executive director of the Global Uplift Project. I'm also a retired high school teacher. I started the Global Uplift Project in my classroom at Los Altos High School in California. I started it in order to show my students the power they actually have to bring goodness into the world. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can participate in this and how you can change the world with the help of the students at your school. This presentation is exclusively for the Penn State Model UN Conference. I hope it's interesting to you. This is one of the reasons that the PHUNC conference is one of the best of its kind in the nation. Let me go and I'm going to switch to shared screen mode here so I can bring up the presentation and we'll get moving. So give me just a second. Okay, this is the presentation's name. A simple plan to change the world that's working today. The essential question is this: if we could change the world, would we? Well, in fact, we can. We are. That's what I'm going to show you in the next 12 minutes. Question is, will we? A change the world idea has to be simple. It's got to be able to be explained in 10 seconds. It's got to be inspiring to millions of people. It's got to be accessible to millions of people. It has to be demonstrable so we can know that it's working as we're implementing it. And finally, it has to be scalable. Remember these criteria as I go through the presentation, and we'll come back to them at the end and ask whether this idea has these criteria. The essential idea is this. Now, I'm going to move this thing up here to get it out of the way. The essential idea is as simple as could be. Everybody contributes the smallest bit, and we use all of that money to help the poorest people in the world help themselves. That's about 10 seconds. Everybody get it? When I say smallest bit, for teenagers, we call it $1. For adults, I call it the pocket change that was in the couch. You never missed it, did you? But when combined with other people's pocket change or other people's dollars, can deliver an enormous increment to the capacity of a local developing world village to help itself. The model is that we built tangible projects using shared investing for dramatic, demonstrable impact. Remember those criteria. You'll see many examples of that as I go through. The plumbing, it looks like this. On the left here are Western donors, that's you folks. We aggregate those funds and we work through non-governmental organizations to build tangible projects on the ground in developing world villages. That's pretty much the architecture. Okay, that's all very nice. What have we actually done with this? In the past 13 years, we've built 15 classrooms in Nicaragua. On the left there, you can see San Martin. That's the before picture. There's the after picture on the right. It's quite a difference, isn't it? By the way, we require the local recipients to contribute at least 20% of the cost of every project. That makes sure that they really want that project. It's not just us rich Americans parachuting in and saying, oh, let's build you a classroom. We've built 14 birthing centers in Nepal. These are reducing the mothers dying in childbirth by 90%, according to the Nepal Ministry of Health. It's reducing the babies dying by 95%. And when the babies are born, we give them a vaccination against the 11 most common childhood diseases. We get the serum from the World Health Organization. It costs $3. Over the life of the child, that will avert more than $3,000 of suffering, contagion, lost productivity, death, 1,000 to 1 return on these vaccinations. This is what I mean when I talk about dramatic impact. We've built 126 latrines in Indonesia. These are some villagers up in the high mountains of East Bali in Indonesia. They had been pooping in the bushes since Adam and Eve, and they were basically ankle deep in E. coli. We installed these latrines, and we're now getting the E. coli out of the water supply. We've done 22 preschools in South Africa, including the I laugh because the climbing structures, the play structures there, oh, you can't believe the way the kids squeal with delight at being able to exercise their gross motor skills. It's the funnest thing you've ever seen in the world. We've done 26 projects in Kenya. On the left there, in the upper left, you can see this water tank. It's a drip irrigation system where we're getting 500% increases in crop yields for a given amount of water. Cabbages that were the size of softballs are now the size of basketballs. We have made and distributed tens of thousands of our Girls Equality Project kits. These are washable, reusable sanitary supplies that we give to adolescent girls so they can manage their menstrual cycle and so that they can stay in school. The kits cost $5. They're free to the girls. This is no hyperbole. For $1.67 to keep a girl in school for 1 year may be one of the greatest returns on investment in human potential on the planet. This is such a successful program. We're really proud of it. We have made and distributed more than 50,000 COVID masks for people in 4 countries. We're now, our sewing centers in Kenya and Nepal, we're now importing them to the San Francisco Bay Area in order to help the homeless people here. In total, we've completed 149 projects in 17 of the poorest countries in the world. In addition to the ones I've shown you, computer labs, libraries, science labs, playgrounds, all of them help the local people help themselves in their economic development. Why does this work? Why is this working so well? It's because people want more meaning in their lives, don't they? They want to give back, but they want it to be easy, inexpensive, impactful, and transparent. That's what this is. Look at the quote there from the Harvard Business Review. 9 out of 10 people are willing to earn less money to do more meaningful work. That says it all. Now, on the outbound side, it works because the projects deliver catalytic impact in their environments. If you don't have water, you don't have life. If you don't have nutrition, you don't have life. If you don't have sanitation, life is imperiled. If you don't have health, life is imperiled. If you don't have education, nothing changes. And if you don't have vocation, basically you don't have life again. What we do by providing projects in these areas is release the energy that's available once those needs are met. This is the most important slide in the whole presentation. I'm going to go a little bit slower here. It tells you the actual measured impacts from these projects as we develop them. We're feeding Kenyan orphans daily protein for $2 per child per year. For $2, we can feed a child protein every day of the year. In Malawi, a little village called Manyesa, we put in a water well, doubled the amount of crops, doubled the calories, comes out to 25 cents per person per year. Dig into your pocket, pull out a quarter. For that quarter, you can double the calories that are available to a Manyesan villager for an entire year. By the way, it's the 4th poorest country in the world. These are the ones you see, the pictures from National Geographic, where it's just people with skin over bones. We can double their calories for 25 cents. We built the first healthcare system for a group of about 230 orphans in a village in Myanmar. $5 per child per year. There's the one of the Girls Equality Project, helping the girls stay in school for $1.67 per girl per year. We just finished a new classroom in Nepal. Costs 70 cents per child per year to put that classroom, make it available to those children. Is it worth 70 cents so that a child can have a classroom for an entire year? It's crazy. It is. And finally, there's the figure for the birthing centers in Nepal. The way we do this is what we call the 6C concept. And this now becomes very applicable to you. Clusters of campuses collaborating to create catalytic change. The green circles there are campuses. The red squares are projects. We bring campuses together, like now through the PHUNC program, to collaborate to create a dramatic project. What is the project? In this case, it's a library in the little town of Biogora Sidi Slamini in Morocco. All the people speak Arabic, but they want to learn English. So we're going to provide them all the books in the collection, the classics of the Western world. They're available to everybody in the villages. The local high school will be providing English language reading and speaking lessons. The whole project costs $4,800, but the Morocco Library Project is covering half, so all we have to do, among all your schools out there, is raise $2,400. Can we do it? We can. We're going to. What is the potential? There you go. There's our clusters of campuses collaborating to create catalytic change. There's 30 red squares in that slide. Last year we did 31 projects, starting to get an idea, but that was just last year. The real potential is this. It's your imagination. There are 16 million high school students in America. If each of you gave $1, we could build more than 5,000 of these projects every single year. That's when we're really starting to get to where we're feeling the shaking of the uplifting of the human condition. That's where we got our name, the Global Uplift Project. It is truly a change the world idea that's working now. There's no new laws of physics that have to be discovered, no cures for cancer that have to be invented. It's spread the word, pass the box, and let's uplift the human condition. And that's what we have to say here. It is within our reach, ladies and gentlemen, to materially improve the human condition. I am talking evolutionary scale improvements in the capacity of humanity to develop itself. That's the vision. Does it meet our criteria? Is it simple enough? Everybody get it? Everybody contributes the smallest bit, and we use all that money to help the poorest people in the world help themselves. Is there any questions about that? Can it be any more simple? Is it inspiring? There's Abraham Lincoln there. Somebody asked Abraham Lincoln one time, who's the biggest man you ever saw? You know, Lincoln was 6'4" in a world where most people were 5'3". Lincoln said, the biggest man I ever saw was one who stooped to help a child. Isn't it true? Don't we get that immediately? We're bigger when we help others. Is it accessible? Well, that's what the puppy there for. Anybody have any idea what we spend every year on the average dog in the United States? I'll save you the trouble. $1,622. $1,622 for the average dog. That's for the food, the vet, the kenneling, the toys and supplies. If we can spend that on the average dog, we can spend $1 to help the poorest people in the world help themselves. Is it demonstrable? That's what this presentation is about. And is it scalable? There it is. All the parts are in place, nothing new to be invented. Spread the word and pass the box. Our vision is that we have millions of people like yourself making small donations to low-cost, high-impact projects. We're building thousands of those projects every year in the developing world, helping hundreds of millions of people bootstrap themselves into a higher level of human ability. There it says, the next bullet, a self-bootstrapping global culture where people are connected, where they're compassionate, where they're collaborative, they're creative, and most importantly, where they're competent, where they have personal experience of having improved the human condition. And as a result, we have a small, as I said, an evolutionary scale increase in the realizable human potential. This is possible. There's our motto and our vision. See the ugly guy there on the slide? You know the one I'm talking about, the one in the red shirt? That's me in Kenya in 2007. I've just completed our first school ever, first project ever. And this guy comes up to me and says, how did you get this school built? I was blown away. He spoke perfect Queen's English. Kenya had been a British colony, you know. It took me about 5 seconds to unscramble my brain from not expecting those words to be coming from this guy's mouth. And I finally said, well, I just went around and asked a lot of people for $1. This guy was so wise. He was way wiser than me. He thinks about it for about 3 seconds and says, ah, yes, even the greatest waterfall starts with a single drop of water. I was so blown away. He had epitomized exactly what we had done. I had gone around and collected a lot of drops, and they became a waterfall that brought a classroom to this guy's village. And that has become our motto and our vision ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, you are one of those drops. More importantly, you are a rainmaker in your school to help your students contribute drops that'll create a waterfall that will help us change the world. That's my invitation to you. I hope this is interesting. And on behalf of PHUNC, you're very fortunate to be part of the PHUNC program as one of the best in the nation. I invite you to join us. Let's get those kids in Morocco the library that they need. And let's remember the competence, the sense that we actually can change the world. Thank you very much.